What is up, my friends? Good afternoon to you all. And yes, chaos does reign around the situation with Mr. Ruben Amorim. I'm going to try my best to unpick the lock and give you guys the information that you need. Bear with me just one moment while I tell my wife to stop annoying me while I'm working. How are we, folks? Nice to see you all. Yes, look, chaos does reign over what's happening with Mr. Ruben Amorim, but I like to think we've got some answers for you. So we're going to go through what the media have been saying over the past 24 hours, where we're at, what we can expect, and maybe if we can figure out what the hell is going on. So it seems like, again, there's a bit of a divide amongst the journalistic fraternity over what is the situation with Ruben Amorim. Stuff in Portugal seems to be very much pushing the angle of it being getting closer and closer, whereas James Pearce and some of the English journalists are sticking to the tone that yes, he is a consideration for the job, but there are no definitive decisions made yet. So where are we? What's true? What isn't true? We're going to do our best to try and keep you guys up to date. Casper's Photography, just back from hospital after putting boiling water on myself. I'd seen that post, mate, in the chat earlier on. I hope that you're well. God, first degree burns, second degree burns in your wrist. I hope that you heal soon, dude. Must be very uncomfortable for you right now. So much love to you, bro, and we hope you get better soon. Darkness said, as per usual, Liverpool keeping things close to their chest until it's done. I'm pretty sure at this point it's only a matter of time until Amorim is announced as the next coach of Liverpool. I think so as well. Honestly, I feel it's not a time to panic right now, but it is a time of uncertainty. But I do think I've been reading the chat before I started, by the way, and I think a lot of you guys are spot on. I think it's just a matter of time. But I will go through all the posts and try and give you a taste of where we're at, if that's the right word. Don't panic, mate, Izar, said Paul White. Oh no, I'm calm little bunny here, Paul. I'm very calm about all this, mate. I do believe he will be the Liverpool manager. I'm just trying to figure out where we're at regarding time frames with it all, but genuinely I think you're all right. He will be the next Liverpool manager. It's just a matter of when that may be the case. So I have a question for you all to ask as well. So with tonight being Champions League night, obviously Arsenal playing Bayern Munich, Manchester City playing Real Madrid, will I do a 8:30 stream, or is there no point? I'm just trying to figure out, what everybody's appetite will be for Liverpool information with the Champions League games going on. I don't want to be distracted, you all, if you want to watch the footy. So look, I'm going to start going through the posts as and when they came in, and let's try and figure out where we're at with it. So the first thing I seen was last night, at about 10:30, the newspaper stories come out every evening, and the stories for the next day's papers with the headlines. And the one that caught my eye was from the Daily Star last night. They said, Liverpool are on the brink of securing a 3-year deal with Ruben Amorim to replace Jurgen Klopp, according to reports in Portugal. So I thought, okay, fair enough. Then I went on to Sky. And today I got up and Sky said, Ruben Amorim, Liverpool reach agreement in principle to appoint sporting boss, according to Sky Germany. And Sky Germany, of course, does feature Mr. Florian Plettenberg, and they seem to believe that he will be the Liverpool manager. But Pedro Sepulveda, who I've said all the way through this process has had his finger right on the pulse, he said there's still no agreement between Ruben Amorim and Liverpool. Negotiations are progressing well, but there are still details to be clarified. And I think, again, that's in line with what Pedro Sepulveda has been saying over the past few days. We then go on to Sky Sports News again, and they say, sources in Liverpool have refuted the claims that Ruben Amorim has agreed to join the club. Just keeps going though. Fabrizio, he's been speaking, and he said it's true that the contacts are really concrete between Liverpool and Ruben Amorim. Talks have taken place and will keep taking place, but we have to be patient and wait for the moment Liverpool make their final choice. Again, Alex Crook said Ruben Amorim has made it clear he's keen to join Liverpool. Keeps going. James Pearce came on to speak, and James Pearce has been quoted as saying, where's the Pearce quotes? Amorim clearly a strong candidate for the Liverpool job, but senior club sources are adamant he hasn't been offered the job, no verbal agreement, etc. Club still doing due diligence around a number of viable candidates. Then we've got Ian Doyle of The Echo, who said, Liverpool are continuing to assess a number of potential managerial candidates despite rumours of an imminent deal for Sporting Lisbon boss Ruben Amorim. Bruno Andrade, he's been posting, Portuguese journalist, said Ruben Amorim has already been interviewed by Liverpool, who accept all the conditions to sign him on at least a 3-year contract. Pedro Sepulveda has said, breaking, it is completely false that Amorim has been interviewed by Liverpool. To date, there is no agreement with Amorim on contractual terms. That's kind of where we're at. Neil Jones then posted, Liverpool deny reports of an agreement with Ruben Amorim and insist managerial search process still ongoing. Florian Plettenberg then posted to say, Ruben Amorim being told there's a verbal agreement in principle with Liverpool now. Amorim wants to join Liverpool next season. Liverpool was pushing for him in the last few weeks. He can sign a contract until 2027 confirmed. Final negotiations with Sporting. I mean, where do you go with all that? Do you know what I mean? There's quite a lot there to unpack, isn't there? A varying range of he's done to Liverpool are still looking. You know, I don't blame anybody for being confused at this point. Kofi said, so it's all speculation. No, I don't think that's the case either, Kofi. I think the truth here lies somewhere in the middle, if I'm being honest with you. He is definitively the target in my mind. And I absolutely believe that conversations have taken place. But I think Liverpool are just keeping their powder dry until it is signed, sealed and delivered. And that's not unusual either. So no, don't go straight to that defeatist, it's all up in the air, we're getting nobody crap either. It's somewhere in the middle, most likely. I think he will be the Liverpool manager. I think we'll get that announcement over the next couple of weeks. But it just seems like the English side of this aren't ready to go all in on it just yet. Pedro Sepulveda is the guy who knows, in my opinion, said Midas Media. I think he's been pretty on the money, mate, the right way through this process as well, which is why we've kept quoting him on stuff. Even today, it would have been very easy for him to jump on the bandwagon and go, oh yeah, absolutely. But no, in fairness to him, he said he's sticking to his timeline of events, and he's saying that no agreement has been reached yet, but talks are ongoing. And again, I believe that to be the case. Would you like to see Osimhen join Liverpool? No, he's not worth the money. Nowhere even close to being worth the money, in my opinion. And Napoli have been a shambles this year. I was said that last year. I was concerned that this could be a bit of a flash in the pan stuff with Napoli. And Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen just haven't continued on from last year for me to justify the type of money that it would take to bring them to the Premier League. And I just don't think that Victor Osimhen would be a good fit for us. So on that, I'd say no. Do you think we have a chance of the title next season, whoever the manager is? I hope so, Daniel. I mean, it's hard to be definitive, you know. But yeah, I'd hope so. I'd hope we'd be there or thereabouts. I mean, I would accept that there could be a slight drop off with a new coach, depending on how quickly we start, how well we start the season. But I'm optimistic, mate. I'm optimistic. Would you do a watch along of the Champions League matches? No, I don't. It doesn't relate to Liverpool, so like I'll probably do a watch along of the North London Derby because that can relate directly to Liverpool. I don't really want to do a watch along. That's why I was saying if people want to watch the games tonight, I've no issues not streaming tonight. I don't want to go on and do a stream if people want to do and watch the games. You know what I mean? So I'm easy either way. I just wanted to know what you guys wanted me to do, so you know we can do whatever the greater numbers of people wanted. Always here to do what you guys want. Hey Craig, what's the Amorim news? Oh God, Reza, sorry mate. A lot ranging from it's done from Sky Germany, basically it's done, 3-year deal, right the way back to James Pearce saying he's a target, but Liverpool are insisting that nothing is being confirmed yet. So it's somewhere in the middle, bro, of all of that. Jota, Trent, Alisson and Bajcetic back in team training, said Pranav. Yes, but the dates on the returns was put out earlier on, and I'm just going to get those dates for you now, mate. 1 second. So, this came from the Liverpool Echo, and they say Diogo Jota expected to return for the Atalanta away game on April 18th. Same with Trent Alexander-Arnold, and same with Alisson Becker. They've put in the return day for all three gents as April 18th, which would be the away leg. against Atalanta. So that means that if this is correct from the Echo, Jota, Trent and Alisson are ruled out of the home leg against Atalanta and the League Cup game, or not the League Cup, the league game against West Ham on... No, I'm going to start that sentence again. Guess who's only had one cup of coffee? They'll be back for the away leg. They'll miss the home leg and they'll miss the game against Palace at the weekend. There you go. How have you been doing lately? I hope you're well. I'm good, thank you, Eureka. I'm good. Again, if there's issues with the lag, there's nothing I can do about that, folks. I'm going to have to just keep going on, though. Understand it's annoying. I appreciate where you're coming from, but I can't do anything about it. So, I'm just going to have to keep ploughing on. Right, let me check if there's any more stuff that I've missed here that isn't Amorim related. Because most of this stuff today has been Ruben Amorim related. So, I guess what I want to ask you guys is, who are you believing? Which source do you believe on this? Do you think that the search is still underway? Or do you think that it's a done deal and we're just being cautious? I think I'm to the latter part. I think I'm towards the it's a done deal part. I do believe he is going to be the next Liverpool coach. But I also understand why people will be saying, just wait until it's signed. I understand that point as well. You know, you don't want to get too ahead of yourselves and then... Actually, yeah, poll's a good idea. I do like the idea of a poll, so let's get that up. Let me just get the poll up. 1 second, guys. Cool. Right, poll is up. Simple question. Do you think Ruben Amorim will be our next manager? Yay or nay? Daniel, is it Daniel or Daniel? I'm not sure which one it is. Said, I'm believing Fabrizio. I mean, again, absolutely understandable. You know, people have journalists that they put faith in and that they believe their stuff in. We all have a different range of which journalists we like on each subject. So I agree with what you're thinking, mate. If it makes you feel better about life to believe the Fabrizio part of it, absolutely can understand that. Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle myself. I think we will get him as our next coach. Kind of think that there have been some negotiations, but I don't believe the Sky Germany Florian Plettenberg side that it's a done deal and it's all agreed. But I do think he will be our next coach. George, all good, thank you, mate. All good. Hopefully done deal, and we're being respectful, said Robbie. What Fabrizio said. 1 sec, I'll get Mr. Romano's comments for you now, dude. Where's Romano? Which one's Romano here? Is it that one? No, it's that one. So, Fabrizio Romano said, it's true that contact has been made, it's true that contacts are really concrete between Liverpool and Ruben Amorim. Talks have taken place and will keep taking place, but we have to be patient and wait for the moment Liverpool make their final choice. So again, it's pretty consistent with what others have said, that conversations have taken place. Liverpool haven't made their final choice / announcement yet. So again, I think that's a pretty believable time frame or set of events from what Romano has said. I heard there's safety hazards in Champions League games tonight. It's not something I'm really qualified to talk about. There was some warnings that have been put towards UEFA from potential threats. I'm not going to talk about them because I'm not informed enough on them. But if you search for it yourself, you'll see the games are going ahead, but there will be increased security, I believe. Sorry, I spelled your name wrong. All good, my man. All good. Don't worry about it. I'm terrible at typing. I'm always putting my big fat fingers on letters and numbers I'm not supposed to. So don't apologise, my friend. It's all good. Appreciate you. Craig, you doing a watch along for the Champions League games? No, because it's not really Liverpool related. You know, I find look, they're great games. Don't get me wrong, but no, I don't think I'll be doing a watch along for them. That's why I was asking, should I do a show or not at 8:30 tonight? Because if people want to watch the footy, I get that, and I don't want to be trying to drag you away from the footy. Breaking. There's a lot of misspelled names there, Danny. My name's not spelled Holden either, bro. Not unusual. Don't get me wrong. Most people misspell my surname, but it's Houlden. Don't ask me where that U came from, because nobody in my family knows where the U came from. But I mean, yeah, I'll be his assistant manager, Danny, if he needs be. I'll be his hype man. I'll jump on with the microphone and be his hype man. That's probably the best I can do. Both Amorim and Nagelsmann speak great English, yeah, both true. Nagelsmann had been considered. I truly do believe it will be Amorim, though. I just don't know what stage we're at yet. And looking at the poll that we put up, you guys as well seem to strongly believe that it's going to be Amorim, because so far, over 90% of people are voting yes, they believe Ruben Amorim will be the next Liverpool coach. Any nice plans for the week? No, Ethan, just trying to get some of the stuff boxed off for the live shows. Just trying to make sure I have the musician locked down, and a few other bits and pieces. I'm starting to write the show as well. So between that, my wife starts a training for the fire brigade next week. She had her medical today. Just lots of stuff happening behind the scenes. It's just busy, incredibly busy. But busy is a good thing. Never gonna complain about being busy. But I'm very boring. I don't really make plans. I just go day by day and see what life brings me that day. Stephen Dwyer said, I'll wait for Paul Joyce. It is kind of interesting though, Stephen. He's been one of the ones who's been really quiet on this. And hopefully it is a Joyce bomb where he comes on and just goes, yeah, it's done. And we all go on, because we do love a Joyce tweet. I agree, mate. He's somebody I hold in the highest of regard as well, Stephen. Oh, I don't know what that was there. Just randomly just trying to make breathing noises. I'm going to try read that comment again without the has Motta been mentioned for the Liverpool job, top young manager? Considered, I believe, on an early stage, but I've not seen anything to suggest that he's moved further along in the process or he's been looked at. Yeah. Don't know what the hell that was, by the way. So Liverpool posted to say Alisson, Trent and Jota by Cecic all back training, which is good news that the boys are at least back on the training ground. I think that definitely deserves a Trent will be a massive boost, yes. Who would be our manager if I'm trying to figure out this. Do you mean if Amorim doesn't come? I don't think we have to look past that, because he's the one and he will be the manager by the looks of it. So it would take a lot to go wrong at this point, because he seemingly decided that he'd like to take up the challenge. Liverpool are seemingly starting to look into the financials of it, and the parameters of what it would take to make Sporting happy, the release clause, all that kind of stuff. So I don't think we'll have to worry about it. But the answer to your question would be, I would suspect it would probably be Nagelsmann if, that choice fell away as well. Craig, we're winning the treble. I'm on board, Imran. I'm on board, bro. Sign me up. Do you know what's mad though? There was The Athletic did a poll of their 11 of their football writers, and they asked who's going to win the league between Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool. And of the 11, one, and that was James Pearce, one went for Liverpool. I am baffled by that. Now, I'm not trying to say we're nailed on favourites, but for 1 of 11 to go for Liverpool, I think 6 went for Manchester City, and if I remember correctly, then 4 went for Arsenal, or it was 7 and 3, something like that. City were the ones that most people were going for, but one, just Jimmy Pearce to go for Liverpool. Via Sky, Ruben Amorim would not accept second choice signings. Good, Danny. I like it. He shouldn't. He should be. One thing I do want from our next manager is a manager that will hold the owners to the flame and say, give us the money. I'm right with Ruben Amorim on that one, Danny. Mark just sent me a reminder, and they did have this in my notes as well, but just confirmation that if Liverpool make the Europa League final in Dublin, we will receive an allocation of 12,000 tickets for the game. So just a heads up on that one. Liverpool to receive an allocation of 12,000 tickets if indeed we do make the Europa League final in Dublin. I'm going to record the preview, by the way, for the Atlanta game straight after this stream. So it'll be out at 6 o'clock. So do keep an eye out for that one, folks. Amorim, honestly, will be so good. Super excited, said Danny Bingham. Yeah, Danny, I'm excited by him as well, mate. I am genuinely buzzing at the idea of... Look, I'm never going to be happy that Jurgen Klopp's leaving. But it is the best of a bad situation. I'm happy because, for me, at the start of this process, I said to you guys, it's going to be Xabi Alonso, Ruben Amorim for me. They're my two favourites. Alonso first, Amorim second. Alonso decided to stay at Leverkusen. So the fact that we're going for Amorim makes me happy. Am I watching Longford Town versus Bray Wanderers on Saturday? I can safely say I'm not. No, mate, I can't say I'm not going to be watching that, to be honest. What else? Is there anything else in the notes that isn't Amorim related is what I'm looking through here real quick. Just a confirmation from James Pearce about that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like excited, but also intrigued. The transfer window is going to be very interesting for me this summer, and I suppose we should move on to the elephant in the room now, right? Salah. ... Where are we at with Salah, guys? Honestly, where are we at? I know it's a sensitive subject, but I feel like people are going to have to be prepared for a sale. For me. And I know I can already see people typing the keyboards out to throw hate towards me. I get it. But I think it's a sensible play for everybody here. And I do think his form is dropping away a little bit. And I know people love to think I have some agenda against Salah. I don't. I'm just trying to be realistic. And I think he gets sold. And I think it's the right decision as well. I think he's tailing off. And I think we're not seeing the same Salah that we've seen in recent years. And he's taken too many chances. And look, Darwin, by the way, for all of you, before you go in on Darwin, I agree. Darwin needs to pull his socks up. But Darwin has lots and lots of time. Darwin isn't at the stage of his career that Mo is. Mo is either at the very end of his peak or has had his peak. But either way, further along in his development. Darwin needs to pull his socks up. No doubts about that. But Darwin's contractual situation is different to Mo's. Not De Zerbi. Oh God, yes, not De Zerbi. I'm very, very glad we stepped away from the De Zerbi stuff quite quickly. I never felt comfortable with De Zerbi being the Liverpool coach. It just didn't feel like a good fit. So yeah, I'm not surprised that's been the case. Maybe if he goes to Bayern, it'll be interesting. I do think he's worth a punt for somebody in a top job. I just don't think it's for Liverpool. So Amorim isn't coming to Liverpool. No, nobody said that either, Stan. Again, people have a look, and you, my good friend Stan, have an option to look at this situation in any which way you want. But I don't know how you can look at what we said and go straight to negativity with he's not coming. Nobody said that. Not one post we read out today, not one social media. Nobody said he's not coming. What we're saying is there's a confusion around what stage the negotiations for Amorim are at. But everybody, no matter who it is, whether it's from James Pearce, Fabrizio, Plettenberg, Pedro Sepulveda, everybody believes he's definitely been in some way spoken to about the job. It's just a matter of how definitive is the decision at this point. So it's confusing, but I still think it happens. Would you buy Musiala if Salah goes? Yes, but I don't think Bayern would sell him. I love Jamal Musiala. I love Florian Wirtz. I think they're two great players. And again, they would be more suited to the type of system we would play with Ruben Amorim. So I'm gonna end this poll and I'm gonna put up a Salah poll because polls are the clearest way to get an indication of what people are feeling. So we asked you, do you think Amorim will be your next manager? 89% said yes, 11% said no. That's fair enough. I think that's pretty definitive to say most people believe yes. Right. Simple question. Is it time to sell Salah? Yay or nay? Again, I'm not trying to inform anyone's decisions here. I'm just asking the questions. And I'm going to ask one tonight. If we stream tonight, I'm going to do the Cody Gakpo situation, because I'd like to see how people are feeling now about Cody Gakpo as well. Hey Craig and chat, bit of a weird one, but I broke up with my girlfriend today. Any advice? Don't overthink it. Yeah, don't overthink it, mate. Life will throw up lots of these type of obstacles, and broken hearts, unfortunately, will be part of it at some point, my man. Don't look too deep into it. Keep putting your best foot forward. And need any advice right now, my man, feel free to ask us here in the chat. We're always happy to try and give you a positive outlook. But we're all here with you, bro. And I hope that you're all right. Look forward to seeing you in Belfast. Thank you, Anna. I can't wait. Can't wait. Honestly, I'm really, really excited to go up and catch up with all the Reds up in Belfast. And it's going to be a good night. We're going to make sure we have a fun evening. And hopefully we're celebrating a good end to the campaign as well. So thank you, Anna. Really appreciate your support. So anything Liverpool have posted something from Daily Star that said Liverpool may allow Mo Salah to depart this summer, with CEO Michael Edwards already having 3 replacements in mind. Nico Williams, Florian Wirtz and Pedro Neto. Interesting. But I don't know why we'd have... Well, I mean, Wirtz I understand, but I don't know. We don't play with wingers in the new system. I don't know. But look, I guess the part of that I'm looking into is the Salah situation. Studio Flash, excuse me. Thank you for your kind words, mate. Appreciate you. Just an opinion, but I think 3-5-2 would suit Liverpool best. Understandable. I can see that system as well, mate. It's not a million miles away from the other system, but I think I can see where you're coming from with a 3-5-2. It just sometimes may leave us a little bit lacking in supporting attacking players, but I'm not against that at all. I think I'm intrigued by the 3 at the back and seeing how it lines up in for us, because we do need to bring in a left side centre back. I think most of us will agree on that one. What about Rodrigo? So there's been lots of links to Rodrigo, and look, I think we'd all be very happy with him, but he said himself yesterday, I think he was with Fabrizio Romano, that he had an opportunity to join Liverpool for €3 million and the deal was done, but he decided to wait because he wanted to stay with Santos, win something with them, finish his studies. So he turned down the opportunity. Of course, he went to Real Madrid and the rest is history. But there has been a long-held interest there in Rodrigo from Liverpool. But I don't know if we're going to see him come in at this point. Mario said, I wouldn't sell Mo. I'd play him as a striker. Quick question for you, Mario, though. Just hypothetically throwing that out there. So let's say you play Mo as a striker, and I'm not against that, I've spoken about it before. In this form, when he's missing the amount of chances he is, when do you draw a line under that and say, time to be benched, mate? Because you can't keep wasting 4, 5, 6 chances in a game before you score. A striker needs to be better than that. And so, by the way, Darwin falls into that category as well. The only one I think we all feel comfortable talking about now with regarding his finishing ability is probably Jota. But Jota has had his own injury concerns, of course. So I'm wondering, will we see a central striker brought in this summer? Don't get too hung up on the system. Amorim also played 4-3-3 at Braga. Yeah, but he is pretty intent on 3-4-3. Any of the research that I've done, seen interviews with people who have worked with him, he is very much a fan of the 3-4-3. Now, of course, all great coaches can adapt to what they have available to them, and it may take a year or two of transition before we're ready for a 3-4-3. So perhaps Amorim does come in and looks to, as you've said there, use a formation that we're comfortable with and we have players to work in. So a lot of these questions, I guess we're going to have to wait for the summer to get the answer of how it looks on the pitch. Sorry, just got to make sure we remove the negative comments again. because apparently Cameron wasn't hugged as a child by his mother. That's okay, Cameron. That's okay, mate. And you do realise yap 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 is what you're supposed to do on a YouTube channel, right? If I sat here in silence, it'd be a very strange stream. Good to see Cooper Miners today. Certainly a great player who has says he's keen to move. Cooper Miners has been somebody we've been linked with for a while, alright. Don't know the seriousness of it, but I guess we'll get to see him over the next week or so. Get Kudos and Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia is not good enough. And I don't know how anybody thinks he is. He isn't. He's a show pony. The consistency is nowhere near the level required. So no to Kvaratskhelia. Who was your other one? Kudos. West Ham won't sell Kudos. We should have bought him if we wanted him before he went to West Ham. But they're not reasonable signings, mate. And they're not realistic either. What about Chiesa? Not seen anything new. Again, please just don't take these all as definitive no's other than the Kvaratskhelia and Kudos ones. But not seen that new on Chiesa. There's been seemingly a long-held interest there. But remember, we're bringing Carvalho back into the fold as well. So we will have another attack-minded player coming back into the squad. Baked said Diaz is a dribbling merchant, Darwin can't shoot, Mo lost his spark, Gakpo can't run, and Jota is made of Weetabix. Our attack is fried, we need reinforcements. I think you've gone a little bit over the top there, mate. There's some aspects to what you've said of having some realism to it, but to say our attack is fried when we're scoring a lot of goals doesn't really add up. I mean, look, there are aspects in everything you've said there. There are kernels of truth in most of those statements, but I feel they're a little bit too far in one direction. I think it needs a bit more balance. I'd buy Wirtz from Leverkusen and Iheanacho. Yeah, until they say they're not for sale. Then what you do? Remember one thing in this conversation when we're talking about Leverkusen players. Alonso decided to stay there because they're going to keep the team together. So he's not going to allow that team to be fleeced of its best players and stay there. He's going to want some reassurances. Now, some of these guys, of course, have release clauses, which the likes of Diamonde and Nkapie could mean, yes, if an offer came in for them and the players wanted to leave, Leverkusen would be somewhat limited. But I don't think we're going to be the ones going in to raid them. I think we'll look for better value than some of those release clauses. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of uncertainty at this point, and it is confusing. Bowen to replace Mo? No, I think that those days are gone now. I think once West Ham started to put out that they would look for 100 million, I think any rational person would just go, nah. Look, I like Jarrod Bowen. I think he's a great player, but it just seems crazy to pay that much, or to even look to pay that much. Is it time to sell Salah was the question so far. 75% people say yes. Everyone is not shy. I know, it's crazy, Fritz Frank. The amount of defeatist stuff lately has been mental. Like, nobody was saying when Arsenal and Man City drew that the league was over and Liverpool were going to win it. But as soon as Liverpool draw a game, everybody wants to throw their hands up in the air and give up on it. And now, as you've said, people are saying all of our forwards are crap. People just need to be realistic sometimes and understand that these are human beings. There will be ups and downs. And it's not as simple as looking at the fixtures and just saying everybody will win everything. Pressure comes into it. Who knows what happens in one individual game, as an example. Let's say Arsenal concede early. They could have a man sent off. Anything could happen. They could be 1-0 up, managing a game really, really well, and give away a late penalty. So I would say realism needs to step in and a balanced look at the situation. It's frustrating we drew at United. Of course it is. They aren't very good. But don't give up yet. And certainly don't be throwing all our players under the bus. Arsenal aren't winning at Spurs. It's going to be a very interesting game, the North London derby, yes. Probably do a watch along for that one. So Liverpool have confirmed another friendly, by the way. Just got this in from Mark. Thank you, Mark. Liverpool have confirmed the pre-season game in July and the 26th versus Real Betis in Pittsburgh, as well as confirming Callum Scanlon has signed a new extended contract with the club. So there we go. 2 little bits of club news there. And thank you, Mark, for sending me on that, mate. Really appreciate it. What's up with Amorim? I will go back over it in a minute, my friend. Just let me catch up through the comments and then we'll go back through the whole timeline of the Amorim situation. Thoughts on Danny Olmo? Don't really... Haven't kept track of him in recent times. That's the honest answer. Is he still even at Leipzig? I don't know, mate. Matheus Cunha in the hole behind Jota or Nunes would be a killer. But we don't play with a hole behind Jota and Nunes. We'd be playing with 2 number 10s who would join up to create the width and the extra bodies in attack. Thoughts on our next game? Yeah, I'm intrigued that a lot of people are saying make a load of changes for the game against Atalanta. I have to say that confuses me a little bit. I can understand that people would have a preference to win the league over the Europa League. I can totally understand that. But I don't know why you'd want to go in any way weak at home in the quarter-final of a European competition. My preference would be to beat them well in the first leg if possible and make the second leg somewhat of a formality. So I'd be going relatively strong on Thursday. I've put my team leaves together and I have dropped one of the forwards. Like I said, I was looking to do. I'll let you watch to see which one that is. But I have dropped one of the forwards and I am expecting some unkind comments on it. But I picked a team selection based on what I thought was realistic and fair. So I'm interested to know your thoughts on it when it goes out later. Would I take Pedro Neto? So from a playing perspective, yes, but the injuries are definitely a concern. You know, I'd be lying to you if I said that those injuries he's picking up wouldn't worry me. But I want to go back through the timeline for Amorim because I did promise that those couple of people a moment ago. So let's go through it like this. Last night, 10:30, when the newspapers came out, the first thing that caught my eye came from the Daily Star, who said Liverpool are on the brink of securing a 3-year deal with Ruben Amorim to replace Jurgen Klopp, according to reports in Portugal. That was then backed up by an article that came out on Sky Sports that said, Ruben Amorim, Liverpool reached agreement in principle to appoint sporting boss, according to Sky Germany. Keep going with this, and Pedro Sepulveda has been very good on this subject all the way through, but he says there's still no agreement between Ruben Amorim and Liverpool. Negotiations are progressing well, but there are still details to be clarified. Next up, Sky Sports News. Again, flip-flopping. This time they say, sources in Liverpool have refuted the claims that Ruben Amorim has agreed to join the clubs. So who are their sources that when their Sky sources are saying he has decided, now all of a sudden senior sources in Liverpool are refuting it? They flip-flop more than anybody else on Sky. I find it hilarious at times. Fabrizio Romano then had a little bit to say on the situation, and Fabrizio said it's true that contacts are really concrete between Liverpool and Ruben Amorim. Talks have taken place and will keep taking place, but we have to be patient and wait for the moment Liverpool make their final choice. Again, we'll keep going. Alex Crook has said Ruben Amorim has made it clear he is keen to join Liverpool. Just gone back through more of them. Ian Doyle of The Echo said Liverpool are continuing to assess a number of potential managerial candidates despite rumours of an imminent deal for Sporting Lisbon boss Ruben Amorim. Then it was James Pearce's turn to speak, and James said Amorim clearly a strong candidate for Liverpool job, but senior sources are adamant he hasn't been offered the job, no verbal agreement, etc. Club still doing due diligence around a number of viable candidates. Bruno Andrade then came out to say Ruben Amorim has already been interviewed by Liverpool, who accepted all the conditions to sign him on a minimum of a 3-year contract. Pedro Sepulveda then came back out and said it's completely false that Ruben Amorim has been interviewed by Liverpool. To date, there's no agreement with Ruben Amorim on the contractual terms. Confused? You're not alone. I think we're all a little bit confused. And then Neil Jones finally said Liverpool deny reports of an agreement with Ruben Amorim and insist managerial search process still ongoing. So, what I take from all of that is that the Liverpool-based journalists, everybody on the English side, has received a briefing from the club to say that no concrete decision has been made. But that doesn't mean that's really the case. That just means that's the briefing that's been put out. So, what is the truth? Well, we have to take an educated guess at it, obviously. And I think the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. On this, and I often disagree, but I do feel what Fabrizio has said is probably it. Probably there or thereabouts. So just to remind you what Romano said, I think this is the fairest explanation of them all. It's true that contact has been made between Liverpool and Amorim. Talks have taken place and will keep taking place. We have to be patient and wait for the club to make the announcement. That, I think, is fair. And I think is probably on the money. So, for everyone that was trying to play catch-up, I bet you're sitting at home now wishing you didn't ask the question, right? Because it is confusing today. Liverpool are just denying it for PR, said Uzi Uncle Drew. And again, I'm not disagreeing with you, mate. I think, you don't want to knock our club. You don't want to, go out and be negative about it. But I think they are just trying to manage the narrative around the situation. Out of respect, of course, for Sporting. I mean, Liverpool couldn't come out now and say, well, yeah, we've done all that stuff. Yeah, that's all agreed. But we haven't talked to Sporting yet. Because, of course, there's a clause there that needs to be figured out. Craig, I would start the player who needs to increase their form in the away leg if we had a 2 or 3 goal cushion. So, as I said, I did drop one of the 3 forwards in my predicted 11 for the game. But I'm not going to tell you who it is yet. I'm going to hope that you watch the video and then you can give me your feedback on it. So the last poll that I'm going to do for today is the 8:30 stream poll. I'm going to ask you guys, do you want me to stream at 8:30 or do you want to just watch the Champions League games? So let me end this poll, and 75% of you guys have said yes, it is time to sell Mohamed Salah. Okay, cool. Simple one. Stream at 8:30, yay or nay. If you guys want to watch the Champions League footy, totally get that. It's a big night in the Champions League. I just don't feel it's right for us to do a watch along of the Champions League games because it doesn't affect Liverpool. Whereas the North London Derby, I'll probably do a watch along of that because, of course, that does have ramifications for us. Guessing Nunez for Jota. No, he's not available until the 18th. For those who didn't hear that either, by the way, the Echo put out something earlier to say they expect Diogo Jota to return on April the 18th for the away leg against Atalanta. Same for Trent, same for Alisson. So no, Jota, Trent or Alisson aren't in my predicted 11. Craig, did you manage to do the Alisson versus Kelleher comparison? No, I didn't, mate. It's been hectic. So I haven't even had a chance to do a lot of personal stuff that I need to get done. And I mean, like getting out with jury duty and a few other things. Like, it's been absolutely mental in my life over the last week. So no, I haven't had a chance to do a comparison yet. I do apologise because I did say to you I'd do it. And I will try my best to get round to it. Is Amorim coming or not? One, I've explained the situation, mate. I've spent 15 minutes going through it all. The short answer is probably. But again, it's up to you which journalist or which version of events that you think is the right one. It's a bit of a guessing game at the minute. And like I've always said to you, I don't know on this one. I don't have information. I don't have sources. I don't know what is going on with this. I've been honest and said I'm always reliant on this situation on the journos because I don't know on this one. But my gut feeling is that what Romano said is Romano and Pedro Sepulveda. I think they're both probably on the money. You can watch both. Technology has gone far. It's not that I don't want to watch both. I can't. I don't want to be doing watch-alongs of games that don't impact Liverpool is my point. So the question is, do you guys want to just watch the Champions League tonight and I won't do a half a Liverpool news stream, or do you want a news stream and you guys can have the background stuff on? I guess maybe I phrased the question wrong. Sell Cody and Mo in the summer. Sell Robbo. No room if this manager comes in. No room for Robbo. Disagree with that, Chris. I'd sell Costas over Robbo. Robbo in an Amorim wing-back role I think would be fantastic. Selling Cody Gakpo. You know what? I'm probably closer to that side of things than I was in the last few weeks. But I find it very difficult to talk about the front line without knowing what way that we're going to look under a new manager. You know, it feels weird to talk about wingers, no wingers. Like Gakpo would probably have a better opportunity as a number 10 in the 3-4-3 system than the system we currently play. But I feel like we'll lose a forward this summer, at least one anyway. And I mean on top of the Mo situation. 3 centre-backs, Craig, a 3-4-3. Yes, it will be 3 centre-backs, Chris. 2 central midfielders, 2 wing-backs that operate just ahead, and then a striker with 2 number 10s that can create a box midfield. So in the system it can be, this is a bit complicated, it can be at times 5-2-2-1. It can be 3-4-3. It can become 3-2-5. It can be very complicated depending on whether you're in transition, whether you're attacking, whether you're defending. It's something that will be easier to explain when we have examples. But yes, 3 centre-backs, which is why we need a left-footed centre-back for me to come in. FSG should buy a Brazilian club. It makes more sense to buy a European club because it gives you the opportunity to build up points for these guys to be able to then come into England and play in the Premier League. So ideally you would want a club in Europe where you can get them those European points, as in scores on the old ranking system to get the visa. So I think we'll probably see a lower level Portuguese, French type club would be maybe probably not Dutch, but maybe French, Portuguese is my guess. There's a really good article actually on The Athletic about the pros and cons of different sized football clubs for the multi-club model and what may appeal to FSG, what may not, where there's value, where there isn't. It's quite a good article if you have a chance to read it. Why would Amorim go to Chelsea? He won't be. Don't need to worry about Chelsea. They're not in the race for Ruben Amorim. Yeah, I wouldn't be concerned about Chelsea, so don't worry about that. Chelsea and Barca, they're out of the race. Cash out on funds, max of funds to buy new talents like some from Leverkusen. I don't think Leverkusen are going to be for raiding this summer, personally, but I'm not disagreeing with you on freeing up some cash. I think, look, if we go back to yesterday's news around Salah as an example from Graham Bailey, let me just get my notes from yesterday and tell you what Graham Bailey was saying. So yesterday, Graham Bailey, reporting on the Salah situation, said, the Saudi Pro League are readying their initial move for Liverpool's Mohamed Salah. Michael Edwards is aware of the situation and ready to sanction a sale. Al Ittihad are in pole position for Mohamed Salah, with Karim Benzema likely to leave. And they went on to say Salah remains Saudi priority. And then, if you cross-reference that with what Mark just sent me a little bit ago, which was the Daily Star have said Liverpool may allow Mohamed Salah to depart this summer, with CEO Michael Edwards already having 3 replacements in mind: Nico Williams, Florian Wirtz and Pedro Neto. So there we go. Look, these things are moving along. So another article now that LFC Transfer Room have posted say Liverpool, Spurs and Villa are all interested in Athletic Bilbao star Nico Williams. His current deal expires in 2027 and his contract includes a release clause of 55 million, and that came via Dario AS, who are a Spanish outlet. He just signed a new deal though, right, Nico? And I guess that's where that release clause comes, but he was running down a deal and signed a new deal. And if I remember correctly, when the deal was signed, there was some talk around, you know, his family being stable in Bilbao, them enjoying life there, them loving the city, the football. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe on that one. But if there is a release clause, then I guess the option is there at least. Adeyemi surely is on the list. He's young and raw. Again, I don't know at this minute, so I won't lie to you. I could say to you, yeah, probably, but I don't know, mate. I've no idea. Nico Williams, Elise, Neto and Bakayoko. So Bakayoko was somebody, definitively, yes, Liverpool had been keeping tabs on. Neto, again, would be in that category. Yes, there's been a long-held interest in Pedro Neto. For me, I'd have questions over his injury record. Who are the other ones on your list? Elise, I think for me, at this point, I'd have to draw a line through Elise because those injuries this year have been consistent and would definitely put me off. And Nico Williams, I don't know. There's been some interest, but I don't know how strong. Any injury news? Yeah, Paul, there was. There was indeed, mate. The Echo posted these 3 return dates. April 18th for Diogo Jota, Trent and Alisson. So they're putting in the away leg for Atalanta. By Cecic, they put in mid-April as a return date. But we can say for certain, because the club posted this, Trent, Jota, Alisson and by Cecic are all training. That's been posted by the club. And confirmed. So Alisson, Trent, Jota and Bajcetic all back in training, which is good news. Left-footed centre-back is a must. 100% agree, Chris Byrne. 100%, mate. Definitely. That's the one for me. I think we probably need a central centre-back as well to provide alternatives for Verge or rest for Verge if he needs it. But I'm right with you on that one. 100% we need a left-sided centre-back. Do you think we need to buy centre-backs or Nat Phillips and Vandenberg would do? No to Nat Phillips. Vandenberg, it's a tough one that, because he does deserve a situation sorted. He has been very good at Mainz on loan. But I don't know what the thought process is from the club at this point. I really don't. So Phillips, no chance that he's going to be longer term staying at Liverpool. Reece Williams the same. Actually, I don't even know what the situation is with Williams now. Is he gone or is he out on loan? I can't even remember. There's been so much going on. Inacio would be, an educated guess. I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Inacio. That you can see the rationale behind that. Amorim worked with him, would know him, and again would like, I'm sure, to bring a player or two with him if he could. But again, I don't want to be disrespectful to Sporting because I don't know what the situation is. There's always a release clause in Spain. I know they legally have to be in the contracts, mate, but some of them are ridiculous. Like the Rodrigo one, as an example, he has a €1 billion release clause. So some release clauses are realistic, like that Nico Williams one, a 55 million, but other ones are ludicrous, like that 1 billion one for Rodrigo. What are Amorim news? Because I've seen reporters saying it's a done deal. I've gone through it so many times, mate, over the last hour. I would just say watch back the stream. Because like you've said, there's been loads of different reports, and all we've done today is go through each report and try to ask what you guys think, because I'm same as you, bro. I'm just trying to figure it out. Would Bremer be a good partner for Varane if he leaves? I know it's not Liverpool, but still, I've no idea. I especially don't want to think about United's situation transfer-wise at the minute, mate, because we've got a lot to deal with at Liverpool right now. Our central defence needs the most money spent at the moment. We give sloppy, lazy goals away for fun. It's hard to push back on that when we have given sloppy, stupid goals away recently, mate. It's there's a lot of truth in what you've said there. Obviously, I understand wholeheartedly the situation for Jarell Kwanzaa. It was a mistake. He's a young player. It won't be the last mistake he makes. But we can also see the progression from him. So I think he's good, safe, and going in the right direction. But you are right, we've conceded some ridiculous amount of chances, particularly early on in games. And the ability for a defence not to be able to help see out a game, when we went 1-0 up at United, as an example. When we won the league title, we would have seen that out, even if it was just a 1-0 win. And we haven't had that same consistency or ability to keep clean sheets. It's got back to the stages of where we were, we'll outscore you, that kind of thing. You can't rely on that forever because days like the United game happen where we miss chance after chance. And if you're not keeping clean sheets, it just makes it far more difficult, doesn't it? So Reece Williams went to Port Vale on loan, lasted 2 weeks and was sent back injured. So that's where Reece Williams is at the minute. That's why I hadn't heard much of him. Inacio is average at best, especially poor aerially, which is no good for the Premier League. Sort of disagree. If you are dominating possession, the most important thing in Amorim's system is that those centre-backs can carry the ball forward through the lines and pick out a pass. So aerially, that can be worked on. He's still young as well, Inacio, so we wouldn't expect him to be the finished product. But the one that's attracting the most interest in general from Sporting Lisbon's probably Diamonde. I think he has a €10 million higher release clause, but he's a right-sided centre-back, or at least that's where he's playing. So for us, we tend to need the left side. I think we'd all agree on that one. Can't watch at 8:30 because I'll be busy. No offence. None taken, mate. I don't have any expectations of anybody. I appreciate any time you guys give up to come watch us, but there's never any expectation, mate, that everyone's here for every stream. I appreciate any of your time that you give up to watch us, my man. The key to win titles is keep clean sheets. Yes, I agree, Abdul. I absolutely agree, mate. You don't win league titles without a good defence. And that's why we spoke about that impact Alisson and Verge had over the years. We were never a team that was short of scoring goals. You look back, Torres, Suarez, we scored goals. But we did have that soft underbelly through the middle. So that's where Verge and Alisson made such a huge difference in pushing us on. But we need to get back to that. We need to get back to being a little bit more defensively solid. Bradley fits right into Amorim's system. Oh God, yes, he does, John. 100%. He's ideal for the system. Looking forward to the Madrid City game tonight. They are very intriguing Champions League ties, no doubt about that. It's better for us probably if Arsenal and City go through and that they hopefully face each other. But yeah, they are very, very interesting. What's this one? So this report, and I would take this with a massive pinch of salt, but there are reports to say Liverpool, Newcastle and AC Milan are all interested in, I think it's Somerville from Leeds. But I'd take that with a big pinch of salt. Certainly would. What would you do about Bradley and Trent's situation when Trent is fit? Probably, I like the balance Bradley gives us, but I also do understand the ability of Trent to influence games from that position centrally with his range of passing. So what would I do? I probably edge towards Trent at this point because we may need to really attack and look to get some goals back. So yeah, it's a tough one, because there are positive attributes for both. Right, my friends, I'm going to go record the preview. Keep an eye out for the 8:30 stream. I'm going to chat to the lads. Let's see what the poll said. 8:30 stream, 73% said yes. We'll give it a bash. We'll give it a bash at 8:30. And sure, if the numbers aren't there, we'll just do a shorter stream. But I'm going to record the preview. It'll be out in less than an hour, so do keep an eye out for it. Appreciate you guys dropping in. Don't forget to drop a like before you head off. And again, thank you for your time. I will catch you at 8:30. See you then. Bye-bye.